This is editing me again. I realized that for a lot of videos I filmed over the summer back home, I did not film any intro. I think this is the last one. I hope this is the last video that I didn't film an intro for. But basically, as the title does suggest, I was reading cowboy romances for the first time. I did find an affinity for cowboy romances, and I do enjoy cowboy romances now after I've read quite a few. But yeah, that's what this video is about, and I do plan on reading a few more cowboy romances in the future, but that is something that I probably won't get to this year because I kind of overloaded myself with so many cowboy romances. But basically this video is me reading cowboy romances. I read two different series, or I complete one series and I read halfway through another series. But basically, I'm reading cowboy romances and I am giving you guys my thoughts and feelings on them. This is my first time reading it. Originally, I did think I was gonna read this. I would plan to read this before I went to a concert in Texas, but that didn't happen because I did start the video pretty late. So it just ended up with me reading cowboy romances over a course of time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Starting off, I did borrow the whole Gold Rush Ranch. I think that's what the series name is called. I borrowed the whole series and I'm gonna try and read it as fast as I can. I did officially start reading Off to the Races and I'm like 5-6 chapters in, and I honestly don't have any big feelings towards it yet. I'm not like, it's probably not gonna be my favorite romance, but never say never. I also do have another series on hold in the library, but that I will reveal later on in the video. It's been a while since we last talked. I am officially 50% through Off to the Races, and I've got to say, this book is actually really good. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but the banter and the tension is just so funny, and Billy is just such a goofy little girl. I actually really like her character. Vaughn is like, okay, I'm not still entirely sold on his character, but I still have 50% more to go through, so we'll see how it goes. I also realized I never really gave a proper summary of the book. So basically, Vaughn is our male main character, and he moves from this big city, Vancouver, to the small town where he goes to run his grandpa's ranch after his grandpa passes away. And basically there's a big scandal with the ranch, and so he's trying to go and save the name of the ranch, and in order to do that he hires Billy, who is tasked to train Vaughn's horse. And that's basically the premise of the book, and that's basically from there the romance happens, and we all know feelings develop, and that's just a standard romance novel. But what I didn't know was that this book happens in Vancouver, or like outside of Vancouver. I didn't know that Canada had cowboys until this book. Like, when I started reading this book, I was like, wait, Canada doesn't have cowboys? And then I searched it up and I was like, okay, they do. But that just blew my mind, because I was imagining everyone with a southern accent, but they're all from Canada. Anyway, I'm gonna continue reading and I will update you once I'm done. This book also comes with the little prequel novella that is about Vaughn's grandpa, so I'm also going to be reading that before I go head on to the next book in this series. So yeah, I'll keep you all posted as I continue reading. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes from there. I swear I'm like always in my room when I'm filming these clips, but that's honestly where I am all the time. So if y'all be seeing this background in almost every single video I have out right now, then just know that I've never left my room. But that being said, I have finished Off to the Races. I give it like 3.5 stars. I still was like, throughout the whole book, was not vibing with Vaughn as our male main character. Like, he just seemed too inconsistent for me, and so I didn't really like his character. The only reason why I gave this book 3.5 stars is because I really like Billy as our female main character. She's just really funny and honestly a really strong woman. So that's honestly why this book is rated the way it is. As y'all saw, I did also read that prequel novella that they had at the end of the book about Vaughn's grandparents, which was actually pretty cute. I don't rate novellas, so yeah, I don't have a rating for that book or that novella because it's not a full-blown book. But yeah, it was really nice, cute, and sweet to see like the origin story of the ranch. But with that being said, I'm officially done with Off to the Races, and now I am moving on to a photo finish. This book is about Cole, who is Vaughn's older brother, and Violet, who is Billy's friend on the ranch, but also she is, I think, the younger sister of all the boys, or if not all, some of the boys in the Chestnut Springs series. So I'm actually excited to see how this book goes. It's also much smaller than Off to the Races, so I feel like I'll fly through this. And yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. I'll try to see if I can record myself reading because I feel like I have not gotten any clips of me reading so far. Just trust me, I am actually reading all of these. Alrighty. Okay, I am like 100 pages into a photo finish, and I've got to say, I am not enjoying this as much as I did Off to the Races. I am starting to like our male main character. Like the first 100 pages, he was just plain rude, but now he's like slowly starting to open up, so I think he's starting to get a little better. Elsie Silver, she writes tension very well, and the tension between our characters has just been so thick you can cut it with a knife. I am really enjoying that aspect, but other than that, I'm not really like that hooked onto the story as I was with Off to the Races, but we'll see how it turns out. We still have quite a few pages or chapters left. I'm gonna see if I can try and finish it today because again, it's due in the library and I don't want to have to read this online. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this and we'll see how my final ratings are. I didn't want this video to just be me reading the Gold Rush Ranch series because I did say I was going to read cowboy romances, not just the series. So alongside the Gold Rush Ranch series, I'm also going to be reading the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage. I have the first 3 books here with me. The last book is on hold in the library, so I don't have it with me right now, but it will be included in this video when I do get it. But I am about to start the first book, Done and Dusted. I actually really love these covers, like the vintage comic book covers that these are just so cute. But yeah, I'll also be reading this series in the video. I'm actually really excited. I took a lot of convincing from my friend to actually for me to actually like cave in and read this because I wasn't really wanting to. But yeah, now that I am reading it, I'm actually really excited. So we'll see how it goes. I just got back from my trip in Texas, and while I was there, I had started reading Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I am really enjoying the book. I do think it is because of the whole vibe of being in Texas and reading a cowboy romance that makes the book a little more enjoyable for me. But that being said, I do think the pacing is a bit too fast, but it also is like a 300-page romance novel, so I can't really expect a slow burn. But I am enjoying it. I really like Emmy, our main character, and Luke is also okay. Again, I'm not really a person who gets sold on the male main characters because it's like either they're just rude or they're broody all the time, but he seems to be growing on me. I'll give you my final thoughts when I'm done with the book, and we'll see if I like Luke by the end of the book. But Emmy is my favorite right now. She is really sweet and just gone through so much, and I am actually excited to see how the story is going to progress and how their romance is going to progress, because it is kind of a forbidden love with brother's best friend. But I am excited, and I will let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated and let you know what my final thoughts are. Okay, so I am a little over halfway done with Done and Dusted. I am like 64% through the book, and I've got to say, I really like it. Honestly, it's just very much a vibey book. I just love reading it for the vibes, and it's really fast paced, which I am enjoying. Not much of a slow burn or tension filled book as Elsie Silver's books are. But that being said, I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna try to jump into the next book as soon as I can because honestly, I really love the setting of Wyoming. Okay, so it's been a few hours and I finally finished reading Done and Dusted. I give this book a 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed the romance. It was nice, it was cute, and it was sweet. I also enjoyed how fast-paced the book was. It didn't feel too short or it didn't feel too long. It felt like just right. With that being said, I do really enjoy the more emotional aspect of the book. Each of our main characters have a sort of personal struggle that they're going through, and I actually really enjoyed seeing them grow as people and as couples and conquering these sort of struggles that they have. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I really do like it. But with that being said, I can finally move on to the next book, and I'm actually really excited for that because that's about, I think, Wes, who is our female main character's brother, and Ada, who is the interior designer who's working on their ranch. But yeah, let's get right into it. I genuinely don't remember what I said to y'all the last time we talked, but I have officially started Swift and Saddled, and I am almost halfway through the book. I've got to say it is much shorter than Done and Dusted, which is making the book a little more binge worthy. Also, it is fast paced, so these are all like books that you can binge, but I've got to say I am enjoying Weston's character a little more than Brooks's. Something about a golden retriever male main character just tickles my brain, and I have enjoyed almost every single romance I've read where the male main character is a golden retriever. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading it. I'm gonna try and see if I can finish it tonight, and yeah, I can't wait to actually read this, finish this, and continue on to the next book in the series. Okay, so it is the next morning, and I finished Swift and Saddled last night. I give it 3.75 stars. I enjoyed it much more than Done and Dusted. The pie date, if you know, you know. It was just so cute and sweet. I've got to say I am enjoying the series. It's very character driven, and there are a lot of personal struggles that the characters go through that I really appreciate. I love seeing how both the characters grow and how they sort of like conquer these personal struggles together. And with that being said, I am done with the second book. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to jump into the next one. Hey y'all, so I finally started Lost and Lassoed. I am outside and on my way to the library right now. I plan on returning it today, so there's probably not going to be any footage of me reading it, simply because I want to read it today and return it. But yeah, I am actually really enjoying it. As usual, I am really enjoying the series, and it is about Gus and Teddy, who are the elder brother and best friend of Emmy, who is the female main character in Done and Dusted. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading it. I am 100 pages into it, and yeah, I will give you guys my final thoughts on it a little later. So I just realized that I never gave y'all a sort of review of Lost and Lassoed and photo finish, and so we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna start off with Lost and Lassoed. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked the emotional aspect of, well, not, I loved the emotional aspect of the whole series. I still need to read Wild and Wrangled. I'm first in line for that hold, so I should be getting it soon. But I really liked it. I really related to Gus and Teddy's characters. Gus's like whole elder sibling, oldest child, those sort of things that he had going on with being the oldest child and older sibling is something I can relate to. And also his, you know, thought process of not wanting to ask help even though he, you know, very much needs help is something that I can also relate to as someone who like struggles to ask for help. I really related to Gus's struggle to ask for help. But also I related to Teddy's character of, you know, wanting to nurture and take care of my friends, but also her whole fear of not being needed and not being wanted by her friends anymore is something that I also have, and like I sort of relate with. So seeing how these characters sort of overcame these obstacles and sort of fears and, you know, flaws is something that really helped me sort of like realize like, oh, I can, you know, it is okay for me to ask for help, and my friends do love me, and yeah, so what if we move on in life, we're still gonna be friends. And that's what I think I really liked it, was because of how much I related to the characters. But on the other hand, we have a photo finish, which I unfortunately did not like. I gave it 3 stars, but I'm probably gonna bump it down to like a 2.5 or a 2.75. I just didn't like Cole as a character, or like Cole as a mailman character. He was supposed to be grumpy, but he was just mean, you know. I don't mind if you're a grumpy person or just like reserved, but that does not give you a pass to be mean. And especially with Cole, like, I get he's a traumatized military veteran, but that still does not give him a pass to be really mean. I loved Violet's character. Elsie Silver is really good at writing strong female leads, so I really did like how strong and, you know, feisty Violet's character was. But Cole, I just did not like him, and that kind of is the reason why the book was rated so low as it is for me. I, again, liked the horses aspect. After, I don't want to compare, but for me, after reading Rebel Blue Ranch, Gold Rush Ranch did not give me as much Small Town vibes as Rebel Blue Ranch did, which is also what's kind of making me hesitate to finish the rest of the series. But I am going to finish it. I'm just going to have to start at a later date, because I am a bit like, I've met my quota of cowboy romances right now, and I kind of need to take a little bit of a pause, which is probably just gonna be a week or two, and then I can, you know, go jump back into finishing the Gold Rush Ranch series. I also do think, because I'm reading 2 different cowboy series at the same time, it sort of hindered with my thoughts. Honestly, it didn't. The first 2 books I pretty much read before I started the Rebel Blue Ranch series, so I have pretty solid thoughts on those. But The Front Runner and A False Start, I think that's what the last one is. Yeah, that's what the last one is. Those 2 I'm gonna probably start in like a week or 2 after I finish reading Wild and Wrangled, and I can look at it in a new lens. But I just did not like Cole's character. Vaughn's character also, I was telling y'all how I was not sold on his character. Sorry. And that sort of just added on to the fact that Cole is just so mean. And tension, that is Elsie Silver's forte, so she's really good at writing the tension. But the small town vibes for me were not there. I get that it's a business, but I wanted cowboy romances, not millionaire romances. And that kind of sort of bothered me a lot, was how much of a business the ranch was, more than it was just a home for someone. So that was also kind of what bumped down the ranking for me. But I am going to read the rest of the series. I'm just going to take like a week or 2 break. So this video is going to come out a little later than it should. But yeah, those are my thoughts on both the books. I am going to move on to the next books in the series. I will finish Gold Rush Ranch in this video. I just need to put a pin in it, because I need to read some other books and, you know, look at it with a fresh pair of eyes. So yeah, that are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. I will update y'all when I get Wild and Wrangled and give you guys my thoughts on that as I read it. I will try to get better at filming. I did not realize I forgot to film my thoughts, but yeah, let's move on. Okay, so it's been a few days, but I finally got Wild and Wrangled. It's finally my turn on that whole list, and I can finally read it. I already started reading it. I'm already like 20 pages into the book. I am actually really excited to finally finish the series. I wouldn't say Cam and Dusty's story is like my most anticipated read in this series, because I really did like Lost and Lassoed, But I am excited to read the conclusion of the series and the last couple in this series. I've got to say, this is one of my favorite covers. I actually like all the covers, but the sunset in the back is just my favorite. So I'm going to start reading. Well, I already started reading, but so I'm going to continue reading. And I will give you guys my thoughts as I read Wild and Wrangled. So I am not much into Wild and Wrangled, but I'm already really happy to be back in the world. I did have a bit like 2 or 3 weeks gap between, not even 2, like probably 2 weeks gap between Lost and Lassoed and Wild and Wrangled, but I just didn't realize how much I missed the world. But I am not much into it. I am on like what, chapter 8? Yeah, chapter 8, and so far we've had some, things happen. Cam's wedding gets called off, and we are also getting past flashbacks. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we are getting the moment Dusty and Cam first meet and how their relationship first started developing, and I'm actually really enjoying that. I am gonna be heading to the library, and I'm gonna try and finish this today. I have until a later date to finish this, but I am about to head back to college and I don't want to waste any more time. So I'm going to be trying to finish this book today. But yeah, I will give you guys, maybe the next clip will be my final thoughts. Hopefully it will be, because I am actually really excited to wrap up this series. So I'm going to try and read this today, and I will give you guys my final thoughts. I'm going to be back in the library. I know I always go to the library to finish these books, but I feel like the environment in the library is much better than reading at home, especially because no one's home and I don't like being alone. So I'm going to be going to the library and trying to finish Wild and Wrangled, and I will give you guys my final thoughts on that. Okay, so I know I said I was going to finish the book in the library like day before yesterday, but I didn't, and I've decided I'm going to read Wild and Wrangled today. It is currently like, what, 7 p.m., but I can probably finish it. I am 100 pages in. I am liking it a lot so far. Just seeing all the characters and being back in the world is really what I'm enjoying, and I've realized I do like second chance romances, so I am really excited to see the romance take off, because it was an already well-established romance, and so we're just going to be revisiting that. So that's what I've been enjoying. I am 100 pages in, but I do plan on staying up late and finishing up the book, because I am only here at home for like 4 more days, and I have a few other books I need to finish. So I'm going to try and read a book a day, and I know I can do it, so I'm going to try. It'll take me like probably 3 hours to finish this, but we're gonna finish it, and maybe the next clip I'll have my final thoughts on the book, hopefully. But yeah, that's what's the plan. That's the plan for tonight. So I'm gonna try and finish Wild and Wrangled and finish up the Rebel Blue Ranch series tonight. Ignore my bed. It's not made. It's messy. I'm sorry. But last night I finally finished Wild and Wrangled, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, and I actually bumped up Lost and Lassoed to 4.5 stars because I still think about that book, and I also, it's just still my favorite in the series. I've never related to a book as much as I have related to Lost and Lassoed and Teddy and Gus. But with that being said, I finally finished the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I was gonna finish the Gold Rush Ranch series in this video, but honestly I didn't like the first 2 books of that series, and so I kind of lost all motivation to finish the rest of the series. I'm still gonna finish the rest of the series, it just won't probably be in this video. Also, I am headed to college soon, and the libraries near my college does not have that series, so if I wanted to read the Gold Rush Ranch series, I'd have to be back home, and I won't be back home for like a set week, unless it's like Thanksgiving break. So maybe I'll read the books then, and I can do another cowboy romance reading vlog finishing that series. And there are a lot of other cowboy romances out there that I do want to read, but I think I read like 6 books in this video, so I do think it's a pretty, I don't know if it's gonna be a long video, but it is gonna be, it's been a lot of books, and I definitely do need my break from cowboys. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video here, and I'll be back, don't worry, I'll be back with another cowboy romance, and I will finish Elsie Silver's series. Just let me know if she has better books out there, because I know that her other series, the Chestnut Spring series, is really popular, but I did not click with her characters at all. The only saving grace were the animals and the horses, and that was it. I did not like the characters at all. So if the Chestnut Spring series is better than the Golden Strand series, let me know, because I will check that out. But with that being said, this concludes today's video, and like if you want to like, and you know, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys in my next video.